the essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Black power! Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Are you feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an anemia, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.
Hi, my name is Sister Ebony Stevenson. I am your announcer for today. Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street here in Chicago, Illinois, and also live on Facebook. If you would like more information, you can reach us at www.facebook.com/TomaNation2 or give us a call at 773-952-8302. Now I'm going to recite our opening. In the name of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent, the one who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and the one who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Odumare, Eshu, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all of these names refer to the same one, Almighty Spirit, and it is to that essence which I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America, and are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient but holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now I am going to recite the 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1. We believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2. We believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3. We believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, vaccinations, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the black community of weapons, break up the black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young black males under the undercover code name Able 2029. And number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe, under the leadership and guidance of Reverend Minister Raheem Cosette Otten, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the communities of urban America. Our goal: to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now we're going to recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Everyone put your right fist in the air and repeat after me. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in its future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 million's back of it, whose destiny depends on it. The red, black, and green of it, oh flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what its code is in. Thanks to God for giving it this great flag of mine. Please keep your right fist raised high in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem. Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service. I am your lecturer for today, Sister Ebony Stevenson, and the title of the lecture today is Economics is the Highest Form of Warfare. Before I begin my lecture, I want to say we are located at 838 West Marquette Road here in Chicago, Illinois. If you are curious about this lecture or any of our previous lectures, you can always join us here each and every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Once again, that's 838 West Marquette Road. And our room number, our suite number is Suite 202. I always mention this in the lectures. If you have any questions about our previous lecture, or if you would like more information about the Toma Nation and how you can support our grassroots movement, you can always shoot us a text and reach out to us at 773-846-3091. Once again, that's 773-846-3091. I'm going to begin our opening. In the name of the everlasting Father, He that causes all that exists to exist, He that is self-existent, He who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and He who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites as Amun-Ra and Atum, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Olodumare, the Shu, and many other Orisha names, I bear witness that all of these names refer to the same one, Almighty God, and it is to Him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are that lost 13 tribe, born in North America, and are of the Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient yet holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Abaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Peace, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our Toma Nation's Sunday worship service. That is worship, W-A-R-S-H-I-P. I am Sister Ebony Stevenson, and I'm going to be talking about a topic that is very important for us to discuss, is very important for us to strategize around. And it is very important now more than ever for us to have this conversation when we look at what's going on in our country. Now, if you have seen any of my previous lectures, you know I like to interweave reality of what's going on around us and what's going on in this country into my lectures. Now, there's a very viral video out right now of a angry Asian man talking about Black people. And a lot of you know that a lot of Black people have been boycotting Asian businesses because of the teenager, the young Black male who was shot in his back by the Asian store owner, who got away with it, who murdered a child, shot him in the back, and got away with it. And so there's been multiple influencers and communities that have been boycotting nail salons, boycotting hair salons, all of these things, boycotting beauty supplies. And it makes sense, right? Because when something happens, we want to respond, and we want to respond accordingly, that we did not agree with what happened in that situation. Now, there's this viral video of this Asian guy saying, well, oh, like, Asian people don't need your money. Like, you can stop supporting us. We don't care. Like, and all of this other things. And what I find that's interesting is that I'm going to respectfully, the Black community has put whole families through school with our dollars. We pay for people's vacations. We pay for people's retirement. We pay for Asians to purchase property. Even in our very own communities, the same communities where it's hard for us to be able to open up a business, open up a store, especially in Chicago, the way that our city treats us. Have you not seen Black people, and this is for you, Black people, I don't care who else listens, but this is for you. Have you not been in a neighborhood where Black people have protected Asian businesses, where they protected the store owners? Have you not seen that? So for this Asian man, why just again, when we were just talking about what happened at the roast and the joke about George Floyd and bringing up those memories, and for us to look at this child to get murdered over a bottle of water that he did not have, and for Asian, that was murder, okay? That was murder. And honestly, the court system may have failed them, but I hope they do a civil suit and take everything that they get, because that is ridiculous. And you know, if that child was not a Black child, they would not have shot him in the back. They would not have ran out of the store behind him if he was not a Black child. We need to keep it real and understand where this is coming from, because we know that Asians have a sense of anti-Black culture. That's their whole, it's a viral video going around about China, how there's a little doll, that's a little Black doll, that when people get angry, they're beating the child, beating the little baby doll, running it over, stepping on it, stomping on it. And somebody asked them, why didn't you make the doll white? So the doll comes in all different colors, right? All different races. But they, you know what they said? Because they will feel bad if they was doing that to a white doll. What did that tell you about us and them not viewing us as human beings, and them not viewing us that our lives matter just as much as theirs do? But when the same oppressor that's oppressing us comes after them, then they like, oh, what the Black people got to say? What the Black people got to say? Oh, Black people help us. What? No. We should be done with this. And so when we talk about economics is the highest form of warfare, just like when that George Floyd joke was made and all the Black people was canceling their Netflix subscriptions because Netflix had to pre-approve those jokes, and because Netflix was playing in our face, letting that racist say something like that when we saw that man get murdered? We all saw it. So now we got to do Asians the same way. The only thing that they understand is warfare, economic warfare, and that's what we all need to be on. So that is going to be what my lecture is about today. I didn't even get to none of the words in my lecture, but I feel I had to share that because, you know, our leader, teacher, and guide, Minister Raheem, he always talking about unity. U-N-I-T-Y, he always talking about unity. Well, guess what? This is the time for us to come together. I don't know about you, but I don't beg people to take my money. If I go into a place and they on that Trump nonsense, guess what I'm gonna do? You think I'm a, oh man, they talking about they don't serve black people here or black people are not welcome in their store. You think I'm gonna go on a run and protest for them to take my hard-earned money? Definitely not. Definitely not. So why are we supporting these people who view us as less than human, who stomping out black dowels because they don't feel that that black dowel is a human being? So what are we doing about it? Let's not just do these sporadically unorganized boycotts. Like, I love a good boycott. But how are we coming together? Toma Nation is here in Chicago. And we have black beauty supplies in Chicago. We have black nail salons in Chicago. We got black sisters with businesses selling human hair, selling synthetic hair, selling jewelry, selling all the things that your local beauty supply is. Just like the Vietnamese are in the shops doing the nails, we got sisters who black-owned nail salons that do amazing nails. So what are we doing to work together so that our boycotts have the biggest impact? Who's organizing the shop-ins where we get together and we go as women and support, and men? Men get their nails done too. What are we doing the community outings to go support these black-owned nail salons, you know, support these black-owned beauty supplies? Are we doing caravans so that the people who may not have transportation to get over to the black beauty supply, that we, a Saturday meetup, that we go, like you, each one bring one. Remember they used to do that? Like each one, that's how you do at church. Like, you know, you grab some, pick somebody up if they don't have a way to get to church. Well, how about we take that to economics? That's right. How about we say, hey, I got a minivan. I got a spot for 3 people. I got a spot for 4 people. Let's meet up and go to this black beauty supply on Saturday when we all off work. And let's spend our money there. Now, these are the changes that we needed, and we need it consistently so that they can see we're not playing. Ain't nobody got time for nonsense. We know what world we living under. We know what this country is doing when it's erasing our history, when it's erasing our truth. I was just looking at a video this morning, and it was 2 or 3 sisters was on some white man's podcast. I don't even know who the white man was because I don't even follow white people podcasts. Now, take it how you want to take it. I mean, it is what it is. Now, they asked them a question that only a white person would ask you. Which oppression was greater? The oppression of being a woman or the oppression of being black? And then the sisters was like, I mean, y'all used to eat it, so what do you think about that one? So they were basically saying, obviously, being black was where they thought that the oppression was the greatest, because white people used to literally eat us as a food. And the crazy part was, of course, white people and white people, and you know white people got to white explain something. So then they trying to tell them, well, that was just one case of in New Orleans or in Louisiana where she was doing that, and then the white guy's like, well, you can't just say that white people used to eat black people and it's only one situation. No, boo boo. See, this is what's wrong when our history is being erased. Because for those of us who know our history, right, and those of you who don't, you can fall for anything. Some of y'all probably when it went viral, that y'all actually thought that was true. But no, eating black people was a very common practice. It was used also. There's a book. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll go back and put it in the comments. But there's a book written by a black man, and it explains all of this and how. And I know this is related to economics, but I'm just going to continue to say this because you need to hear it. Now, and they talk about how during slavery, how the slave owners would butcher a slave in front of the other slaves and cook the slave to make the slaves eat the body. They also did this on the slave ship. Look at some of the slave ships coming over, and there's this documentation that they killed the slave, cooked the slave, fed the enslaved person to the other enslaved people, and then the crew ate the organs. This isn't happenstance. This isn't a lie. This is the truth of black people. There's even a documentation of this doctor and other doctors who were saying that black people's skin was the best skin to use to make leather. This isn't a fantasy or a made-for-TV movie. This isn't a myth. This is reality. And the reason why I added this to this lecture is because we have to be real about the oppression that we are under in this country, the oppression that we are under on this planet. And they will get us fighting amongst each other with these gender identity politics, spouses going against spouses, boyfriend going against girlfriend and all these other things. But it's deeper than that. We really have to look at who our true enemy is and the impact that they're having on our communities and our families, and what are we going to do about it? And so I bring you back to the lecture of economics is the highest form of warfare. Because what Hello, everyone. I apologize. We were experiencing some technical difficulties, but I am back. And so what I was just discussing was when we look at how do we deal with enemies, everybody eats off of us. It doesn't matter if it's multinational corporations. It doesn't matter if it's the Asian-owned businesses, the Arab-owned businesses, the Latino-owned businesses. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why economics is the highest form of warfare. The Black community is the only community where everybody and their mama, their cousin, their auntie, and their brother, their grandma can come in our community and set up businesses, pop-ups, storefronts, even just with a little shopping cart, can just come on our block, come on the main street and sell whatever they want to sell, and we can't do the same thing in their community. We're in Chicago, and those of you who are familiar with Chicago, I can't take a group of black boys to a little village, to back of the yards, and pop up on 47th and Halsted, 51st and Halsted, right? I can't do that and have them set up a snowball stand, have them set up a hot dog stand. Let's see how long they last before they are run out of the community. This isn't allegory. This isn't a myth. This is the reality. And we even still have the situation that I'm gonna bring up that we already happened before. See, this goes into what I said about I'm not gonna beg someone to take my money. When we were just talking about the George Floyd riots, and there was what's that Minister Joshua, what's the guy's name who had the grocery store in North Lawndale? Yes. So even when we were looking at the George Floyd riots and when the grocery stores in the black community were shut down, right? And people were trying to go to other communities to go to the grocery store. And black people went to Little Village to go to their grocery store. And they were ran out of Little Village by the gangs. And the gangs told them, we don't need your money. We don't want your money. Get out of here. Where's all that POC solidarity when you need it? Where's the people of color, the BIPOC solidarity when you need it? Thank you. He said they specifically said we didn't open up this store for y'all. Where's that solidarity? When something happens in other communities, when something happens with other races and with other nationalities, and they be like, oh, what the black people got to say? What are we saying on the issue? Are we supporting them? But when it comes to us, who's supporting us? When we have an issue, who's supporting us? When our babies are being gunned down by these racist store owners, who's supporting us? And so when we talk about economics, enemies only understand when you hit them in their pocketbook. You can do all the protests you want. You can do all the crime that you want. But unless you're going to impact them economically, that's it. That's all. Economics is the highest form of warfare. Now, I think someone was saying that they had actually vandalized the store of that situation where the store owner had murdered the young black male, and the people had came and vandalized the store. I'm not a proponent of crime, but karma is real. And you can't do our people dirty and think that there's not going to be a response to it. And so getting back to it. Now, when we talk about economics being the highest form of warfare, that question that I had still stands. How are we making this the biggest impact? Because he said they don't need our money. So how are we linking up Chicago that we can get together and make these things happen so that we can go support these black-owned nail salons, these black-owned, all of the things that we get from the Asians. And I even saw, it was a brother, he was making Asian food. He had an Asian restaurant. I am so serious. I cannot even, he was on DoorDash, and I believe Uber Eats. So, you got a taste for Asian food? Go support the black man. And if you're watching and you know what restaurant I'm talking about, I think it's more than one, where they were cooking like, oh, Egg rolls, okay, like you want an egg roll. Go to 79th to what's that? Tasty Rolls? Tasty Rolls right here on 79th, and it's West Side. Yeah, I got y'all version too. You want an egg roll, go there. You want fried rice, go to one of them black owned restaurants that's making fried rice. I'm serious. Some of y'all may be laughing, like, look at her, what is she talking about? Yes, I'm serious. Because this is the only thing that they understand. Let's give our money to black people. As some of you may know, I'm the president of the United Black American Progress Association. And being the president of the United Black American Progress Association, it was founded by Dr. Webb Evans. And our whole thing is economics, supporting black-owned businesses, sustaining black-owned businesses. That's been our mission since we were founded in 1961. 1961. How many organizations do you know that are still in existence from the 60s? I'll wait. Can you name one? Can you name two? How many organizations that specifically focus on economics that were founded in the 60s are still around? I'll wait again. Can you name one? I can't. Maybe you can. If you do know one, drop it in the comments if you're watching live on Facebook or on YouTube. I'd like to know. Ebony doesn't know everything. Maybe you might surprise me. So let's look at this piece around economics. Because when you think about warfare, you know, some people will go back to, oh, if you ask a question in the community, you'd be like, what's the highest form of warfare? You know what most people will say? Military. They'll be like, oh, the guns and the weapons and the things and the soldiers, highest form of warfare. Well, let's think about this logistically. We know that the government has had its foot on our neck since we have been in this country. And when I say since we have been in this country, I mean those of us who came over on the transatlantic slave trade and those of us who were already here living in the Carolinas and on the southern east coast of what is now called the United States. The indigenous blacks. Yes, we existed. So no matter which one of those groups of black folk that you fell under, the government has been on our necks. We can trace it. This isn't mystery. We can trace all even up to the Dawes Rolls when they classified indigenous blacks as enslaved blacks. Yeah, these are things that happened. And we're still dealing with the after effects of these things that happen. But throughout all of this time, the government has not released its foot from our neck. And that is the reality that we're dealing with. And so there is no way when you are living in a country that has billions of dollars to spend on defense that we could outwin them with our people and the military. Even if we started our own military, there's no way that we'll be able to recoup the things that we needed to do a coup. And not that I'm saying I'm in favor of a coup, but I'm just saying the things. So, if the military part is out, because the military is not the highest form of warfare, it will fall to economics. Why? Black people's pocketbooks do a lot for this country of America. Black people's pocketbooks feed multinational corporations. Black people's pocketbooks feed mom and pop immigrant-owned businesses. Black people's pocketbooks feed everybody but themselves. And this is not a happenstance. It's just not something that like, oh, we're just talking about. It's by design. There's a reason why here in the city of Chicago, as a Black-owned business, that you have to go through so many hoops and hurdles to open businesses that people who don't look like us were able to open with ease. That's by design. It doesn't matter if you're trying to open up a restaurant. It doesn't matter if you're trying to open up a grocery store. It doesn't matter if you're trying to open up a beauty salon, a beauty supply, or whatever. We always have to go through the ringer when it comes to us doing anything that will benefit us economically. As long as we're okay getting social services, as long as we're okay depending on the government to feed us, to house us, to clothe us, to teach our kids, as long as we're okay with that, there's no problems. But when we're not okay with that, when we start to question things, and when we start to move differently, this is when the problems arise. See, that's the thing. I don't remember who said it, but there's a statement. If you can control people's food supply, you can control what? The people, right? If you can control the people's economics, then you can control their behavior, right?
Right.
Think about this. We always talk stuff about the clothes that we see people in our community wearing. And I'm not talking about the people who be doing they Shein and they Temu orders. I'm talking about the people who be going in the DLTRs and in the Rainbows and then all of these stores that's in the community. We had a conversation about, young girls, these babies wearing inappropriate clothing because their mama just thought that it was cute and doesn't know that what they're wearing is inappropriate for a child to wear. Who's deciding which clothes get put in our community? Who's deciding what we get access to? Who's deciding the food that gets put in our community? Who's deciding the food that we get access to? Who made the decision that in Black communities there's 50,000 chicken restaurants, fish restaurants, burger restaurants, gyro restaurants, but we got to fight over a grocery store? If food is medicine and having access to healthy, affordable food, especially produce, especially herbs, right? If they are controlling that we are not deserving of those type of businesses, then it's no wonder we have such high rates of obesity. It's no wonder that we live in food oppressed communities. It's no wonder that we can go in our community and walk up and down a street for a mile and not find one piece of non-crappy produce. And when I say non-crappy produce, I don't mean that Aristotle who got that apple that's been sitting there for the last 4 weeks. I don't mean the corner store that's got that same tomato that's looked like it's about to crack because that's how old it is. Or the iceberg lettuce has been sitting there so long that part of it is brown. Or the store that you go in that the store is so filthy that all you can smell is rotten meat when you're going in the store. And that's the only place you got to go, especially if you don't have a car, especially if you're a mom just needing to get some milk or some things for your child, and you don't have money to do an Uber Eats or a DoorDash. You don't have money to get on the bus and go all the way, ride to Walmart and then come back. This is the reality that we're dealing with. And economics is a part of all of this. And now you may have some people who say, "Oh, okay, we kind of understand what you're saying, but why is it called warfare?" When you hear warfare, what do most people think about? They think about, gunshots. Well, we got that already. No, we live in Chicago. dodging bullets, dodging these mini missiles of mass destruction, right? Every night. Some of us have grown so accustomed to it. When we hear shots close to our window, we don't even hit the deck no more. We just continue watching TV or eating our food or doing what we were doing. Like, oh, it's normal. Some people, when you think about warfare, you think about tanks in the street. You think about battlefields, right? But you don't think we're at war right now with us being below the economic bottom in this country? That our network is so poor that it is behind the Latinos? Is that not a battlefield? Is it not a battlefield that it is summer and Chicago public schools are out and that our babies have to go beg people who don't look like them to hire them for the summer? And most of these babies, when they're getting paid from these summer jobs, they not going out here splurging. They not going out here living a lavish lifestyle. You can't live a lavish lifestyle of what they pay these kids over in the summer. You know what the majority of them are doing? Helping their mamas pay the rent, helping put some food in the house. This is the reality of being under the economic bottom in America. You don't think that that's a battlefield? You don't think that that's a fight? You don't think that that's warfare? Let me read the scripture to you. Once again, I always remind you that when we are quoting scripture from the Holy Bible, that we are using the Standard King James Version of the Holy Bible. In Proverbs 22:7, it says, "The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." Let me read that for you again. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. That is an impactful scripture about a borrower being servant to the lender. We're under the economic bottom in this country. And being under the economic bottom means Black people often have a lot of what? Debt. This is real. It's so bad in the country right now that people are using Klarna and Afterpay to get groceries. That you have to borrow money to put food on the table. And when I say this, I know that this inflation and the high cost of goods are not just impacting Black people, but I'm only talking to Black people right now, okay? Because here at Toma, we are a what? A Black conscious righteous movement. You understand what I'm saying? And so everything in this lecture is for Black people. If you don't like it, it is what it is. You know, the things that we're saying about economics, this sounding the bullhorn, and it's, you know what the thing that I will say about Trump is that every time Trump is in office, he makes racists comfortable so that they can be talking out of their necks, things that they wouldn't have said under another administration, right? Because Trump creates that racist energy, right? Where it's like, oh, like you think you can say what you want to say to us, that you can talk out your side of your neck to us, and we not gonna do nothing about it. That it don't matter what we doing. You can see anything on social media. We could be walking, we could be parking, we could be talking, we could be eating. We could be sleeping. It don't matter what we doing. If white people feel that they gonna mess up our day or try to get us arrested or killed, that's what they gonna do. Because they showing their butts. And it's not just white people showing their butts. Latinos are showing their butts. I'm talking about the video where Asians are showing their butts. Everybody is showing us what they really think about black people. And I'm here for it. Because we need to understand when other people are going through things and they want us to support them and they want us to hold them down, we need to be how the black women were when everybody was talking about that they were voting for Trump. When we talked about what his history was, what he's done in the past. And everybody was like, he's going to give us a city. He's going to support the businesses. And see, here at Toma, we know that Trump being reelected was predestined as we witness him interact the fall of America that we are seeing every single day by day, live, like we there on social media. That we're seeing all of the countries that he's angering. That we're seeing how people are viewing America across the world scene. And this is destined to happen because in Revelations, what did the Creator say? That he was going to save America for himself. America, this country founded off of murder and rape and genocide, founded by people who were thrown out of their own country. The same people who might as well have been convicts that were thrown here, that then they turn around and massacred people. They turn around and did mass rape and genocide. This is what America is founded on. When we look at the prison industrial complex, when we look at how black people are treated in their interactions with the police, this is all by design. When we look at the energy and the money that the government has invested in surveilling us and infiltrating our movements, infiltrating our organizations, right? Who else has they done this to? And for such a long time. What other people did they say that they assassinated a leader because they were afraid of the rise of a black messiah? Let that sink in. Who else leaders that they didn't kill like that? That they was afraid that someone would rise up and for us to unite. That our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. That us fighting together is more powerful than an atomic bomb. So if that's the case, and we want to use economic warfare, let's join together and put some of these businesses out of businesses and create some space and support existing black-owned businesses. Because this isn't a one-sided tactic, right? This isn't a one-sided strategy. Because black people, this is for you. We know our black businesses go out of business as fast as they're coming into businesses because we don't support them the way that we should. We don't show up and show out for them the way that we should. We got all these influencers who go to all these different places and say, oh, come here, like I had this experience. And shout out to the black influencers who actually make a concerted effort to go to black-owned businesses to showcase how many awesome and amazing businesses that we have in our community. Because I said this in an election before. We are our own worst enemy. Now, this ain't about nobody else. We're talking about us. This is an intimate black person to black person conversation here, right? We can be our own worst enemy. We're the same people who will say, oh, I'm not shopping at that beauty supply because I don't like their prices, or I don't like how they talk to me, or I'm not going to go back to that black restaurant because I didn't like the energy, or I'm not going to support this black business because I did, because I did, because I did, because I did, because I did. But you the same people who you will go in that beauty supply and that Korean will walk behind you while you in the whole store until you get to the cash register to make sure you ain't stealing nothing. You the same people who will go into the Vietnamese nail salon where the sister showed you when they turned on their Google Translate so that you can see what they were talking about in their native language. Now, hey, don't get me wrong. I don't care what people say in their native language, but you're supporting people who are actively doing your nails and your feet, who are actively waxing your eyebrows, waxing them chin hairs while they talking crap about you while they taking your money. And you think that's sweet. That ain't a good look. That ain't cute. You supporting people who talking crap about you in your face. That's not right. We supporting the same businesses who showed us. It's a business. I was with a friend. And then there's a Chinese restaurant that went very viral, right? They went very viral on social media on, I don't care, on 87, right off of the Dan Ryan. Now, y'all remember when they went viral because they had their meat outside on a hot day and everybody was talking about it and it went viral because somebody saw it. And you know how we do. They pulled out their camera and they're like, look, they meat just sitting outside on a hot day. Who does that? Do you think that they would do that to the same meat that they was feeding their own people? We were there recently. And if you've ever been in the mall on 87th and the Dan Ryan, you know that there is a rodent problem, especially with there being so many food businesses. And so if you notice, behind the businesses, there are all of these rat traps because the businesses have back doors, right? But the same restaurant is the only food restaurant where their back door is always open. So if the whole shopping mall has a rat problem and everybody else's door is closed with the rat traps right at the back door, why is this business back door always open? I don't know. And I'm not going to guess, but I want you to figure that out. For those of you, and I hope you still not eating there, I can't remember the business name, but it's on 87th and the Dan Ryan. Now, I'm saying that because guess what? When I was over that way a week ago, who was sitting in the restaurant? Us. Now, they done showed you that they don't care about serving you spoiled meat. They showed you that they got their back door open where anything can just run in the inside. And you know what? I'm not going to be judgy. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, maybe it's hot in the kitchen and they had the back door open to get some air. Well, guess what? You need to get some air conditioning up in there because if you hot back there, it's hot in the All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. We were experiencing some technical difficulties. Oh, I didn't know I've been, it's 1:27. I didn't realize I was talking so long. I haven't really got to the I'm about to say meaty part, but the tofu part of my lecture. And so I'll say this: if you have enjoyed what you are hearing today about economics being the highest form of warfare, and you would like a part 2 of this lecture, comment part 2, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. If you would like more information about any of our previous lectures, you can always shoot us a text at 773-846-3091. I'm going to take these last 2 minutes and then I'll get ready to close out. But once again, if you are enjoying this lecture, comment part 2, and we can do a part 2 on Wednesday. But here at Tomination, when we observe economics month, and actually our prescribed reading for the month is the book about S.B. Fuller. And so we will be talking about economics all month. We will also be talking about economics in July and in August. And so when we say economics is the highest form of warfare, we mean that literally. Now, when we look at economics, right, the things that I'm saying, they're not new, right? This strategy of boycotts, this strategy of shop-ins, it's not new. It's something that Black people have been doing for generations. And I can say generations because they have been doing it. We have been doing it for generations. Now, look at somebody like Dr. Claude Anderson and look at the time and the energy that he spent writing these books, Powernomics and the other books. And that even to this day, that the time that he spends on the speaker circuits, going around and talking to people. Now, you can ask our people about, we know athletes, we know entertainers, we can name 5 baddies on the baddies, we can name 5 Tyler Perry movies. But can you name 3 Dr. Claude Anderson books? When we talk about, everybody's talking about political power, everybody's talking about politics, everybody's talking about the Black vote, but who's talking about Black economics? Dr. Claude Anderson warned us what we will be experiencing. He warned us, and we're looking at it. We're looking at us being under the economic bottom. Because let's think about this. How much political power can you really have if you don't own nothing? How much influence can you really have if somebody else owns the businesses in your community, and somebody else owns the banks, and somebody else owns the grocery stores, if somebody else owns where you live? Because ownership determines outcomes, and ownership requires economics. It requires us to prioritize what's important to us as Black people. This is why economics is warfare. And this is why we really got to think about this issue that we're talking in solidarity, and shout out to the Black influencers who are supporting Black businesses and bringing attention to these businesses so that we can go support them. Shout out to the people who, they're not even a part of any organized groups, but just on principle alone are boycotting these businesses. Shout out to those people. Shout out to y'all Black people. So how can we make this bigger? How can we bring Chicago together around boycott? How can we bring Chicago together so that we can do some shop-ins at these beauty supplies and at these nail salons? How can we, and it's so many, some of them are not even beauty supplies, some of them just sell hair. And you notice by the color of the wig that I have on that Black women love their hair. So how are we supporting these businesses predominantly owned by Black women that sell hair? How are we supporting them? How can that Chicago tag in on the boycotts in LA? How can that Chicago tag in on the boycotts that are happening in other cities? So that we can show them what it means that economics is the highest form of warfare. I am your lecturer today, Sister Ebony Stevenson. You can always join us at Determination Weekly every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. at 838 West Marquette Road in the Inglewood community of Chicago, Illinois. If you would like more information about this lecture or any of our previous lectures, you can shoot us a text at 773-846-3091. And if you would like a part 2 of this lecture, comment part 2 if you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube. I'm going to leave you as I open this lecture with 3 words. Guess what those 3 words are? Well, technically it's not 3 words, it's 3 statements. You want to take a guess? Who remembers how at the beginning of this lecture how it started? What was the 3 statements that was made? How about you watching live? What was the 3 statements that was made? Black power, and black power. Peace, peace.